TSI, having a Friday night whinge. I've still got lots of work to do, and it's Friday night and it's party night in the neighbourhood again. I don't mind people having parties, and I don't mind people having loud parties. But you know what? They shouldn't play shit music, and they shouldn't go all night long, and they should give half a fuck about other people. I know it's all cursey words. That's just the kind of a day I've been having. But that's all right. So, I'm hoping I'm live. I'm not on Twitch tonight because I managed to disconnect my Twitch, which from Restream, and I just haven't gotten around to fixing it all up again. I've got El Papo down the bottom here, just being a little bit annoying, but that's all right. He's only a baby, so he gets away with stuff. Unlike the neighbours who've got zero taste in music. And I thought it was the neighbours on that side of us because it's been a long time listening to them. But they've stopped all their building noise now, and they're actually very quiet at the moment. And it's the neighbours that side of us. So it's like, I can't seem to win. So the game plan is I'm going to build my own house, and it's going to be bloody soundproof. Because everybody around here parties all the time. It's just, that's what people do. And I'm jealous because I don't have a life. So there, I've said it. Now get off my case. I'm allowed to whinge about the neighbours. And I will curse them to, when they're really sick and when they really need a break and when they really need their sleep and they really need their peace and quiet to recover, that they have neighbours who are just as fucking awful as they are. And just don't give them a break for years. That's just the way I roll. Still. So, after yesterday not being able to get much done, it was that weird mood that hits me every now and then. Today I've been really super productive on it, and even though the neighbours were doing massive renovation works again today, so it sounds like a building site, and I still managed to tune it out. I'm having a really hard time tuning out that horrible sound because it's like they're practicing. It's like they've got the bass guitar and they're doing the same 5 things over and over and over and over, and they're not very good at it, and it just sounds like shit. And it's really hard to tune out. It's just at that level where it just goes right through you and you want to go and scream and belt the crap out of someone, preferably the idiot making the noise. And it's so bad that it's actually set off the neighbours' dogs. And I don't get angry at the dogs when they bark and carry on. And tonight I'm especially not going to get angry at them because they're just doing what I'm doing. Except I'm whinging into a mic at nobody in particular because no one's ever going to see this. So that's all right. But yes, and I think, let me see. It's like, I don't know. Let me just play with this for a sec because I'm curious, and, well, it's not really much at all, is it? Let's do this. I'm just curious. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's live. I've just gone into my YouTube channel because the way I've set it up when I use OBS, it doesn't always register on YouTube. So I've got no idea how anything works. I've been so busy this week that I haven't really caught up on all of the things I need to learn about video editing and whatnot. But it's kind of an interesting experience doing this. So, what what do I want out of it? You know, how can I achieve what I want? It's all just an interesting question. So, but yeah, so I got a fair bit done. I've still got a little bit to do, and remembering I've got to drive into Perth tomorrow and drop it off. I've gotten a fair way through it, and it's just tidying it up and getting some documents in place, and I'll do that tonight. I'll sort out the files tonight while I'm watching TV, because that's one of the few areas where you can, you know, multitask. And it's like, you know, changing the tab numbers. I finally got my tabs, so I can do that. But I find it a bit frustrating, because and there's a few people that are like that. Like, I used to turn off the fridge because the noise of the fridge used to drive me nuts. And this was a super quiet fridge according to everybody else, and all I could ever hear was that really loud buzzing. So, you know, I would turn it off for an hour a day. You know, I turn off the fridge, the freezer, and everything in the house to stop the buzzing, because I just can't cope with it. And of course, now I have to put up with the buzzing because the PowerPoints aren't accessible for me now. So for me to turn the fridge and freezer off would be a massive undertaking. So I have to put up with it, which drives me nuts all the time. You would think that I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not. I've never gotten used to it. And, you know, you can't turn the sound of the neighbours down. And it's, you know, the electronic gadgets going all the time. And I had to drive to pick up my meds today, which are compounded. So there's a compounding chemist about half an hour away. So I ended up taking Oliver and James with me, and Oliver did that really high-pitched yapping because he had to be in the back seat. He doesn't like it, and it's like, I don't care, you've got to be in the back seat. But it was like, that sound is designed to make us do things. I'm just going to shut the door because he's left me. I'm back. Yeah, so you know, Mother Nature has designed the high-pitched sound so that you go and look at what's going on. And of course, it just drives me nuts on top of everything else. And I'm thinking, I might just get a headache tonight, and I can't afford it. So it's really annoying. And you know, a trip into Perth, yeah, I can get there under an hour, depending on the roadworks. I suspect there's plenty of roadworks again. I'll have to check first thing in the morning to see if Google Maps has been informed. Check with the roads department. See what they've got planned for us. But it's like, at the moment, people really give me the irrits. Oh God, he's back and he's opened the door again. It's like, he likes coming and going. Just coming and going. I'm going to have to do that because me talking drives James nuts, so I can't win. Come on, out. Out. You get out of it. That's not for you. I think that because I've got a lovely bone for him here, that he'd be interested in that, but he's not. So you come and say hello to everyone. Say hello. Oh, look, he's got a wet face again. You can never see how gorgeous he is because he's always got a wet face when he comes on here. But he's been really good with his loose leash training. So, I mean, he's 9 months old now, so we should have been on top of this months ago. But between his and my health problems, we haven't really got that much time. And he's not food motivated, young Oliver. He's not like me at all. So after my accident, when I couldn't move, like it was to get up was like a massive exercise, and to get anywhere, you know, took crutches and forever. So what I did, because I couldn't train him, I got him used to having treats. So we'd sit there and we'd just chat, you know, I'd be feeding him his treats, and, you know, we'd be doing some little tricks that we could do sitting there. And that's all we did. And now he's actually a little bit more happy to do treat training. So that's pretty good. And he's got his loose lead training under control. So that's good. So if only the rest of life was as easy to sort as my puppy. And I mean, it is puppy love, so that's good. But I've gotten some information from all of the different legal associations I'm a member of. And, you know, all of the subs are due, and, you know, it's just endless. And you sort of wonder just what you really want to do with it all. I mean, what was that? You can tell the good people of the world what that was about. No? What was that about? No? You tell them. You tell them. See, he doesn't want to tell anybody anything. He just whinges at me because he loves me. No? You don't feel very comfortable here, do you? He's my big buffy boy. So, but you know, it's just more of the annoying thing is, you know, having to make decisions. I hate having to make decisions. And at the end of the week, like, you know, when you've made all your decisions for the week and you're starting to wind down, sometimes you think, you know, it'd be really nice to just have everything just work out straight, no side steps. Yeah, that would be nice. But I was going to follow up with some of the documents I've produced. I was going to do a bit of a video on, you know, how I actually put them together, so that, you know, it's always easier when you actually watch someone do something rather than explaining it. And I mean, with the camera here, I can actually, you know, show you what I'm typing, and that to actually show you how I produce the videos, the documents. You can have your bone. Go on. You get down. Oh, there's your bone. Yum, yum. Nom, nom, nom. And then I was going to see if I could set up a camera so that I can show you how I put together a folder, so that, you know, how to sort out your different documents. Oh, look, these are my scammers again. No, I'm not playing with them tonight. They phoned me earlier today, and they were just speaking in Indian and laughing their heads off. And I mean, I hadn't even said hello, and I'm sort of thinking, well, you know, that's 5 minutes of my life that hasn't been impacted, and it's 5 minutes you haven't annoyed somebody else, so win-win. Anyway, I thought if I set up a folder with documents so that, you know, I'll actually put it up with all of the tags so that you can find it if you're just Googling for something. Only because I know that when you tell someone how to do something without showing them, sometimes it's, you know, some things you get crossed wires, so it's not always straightforward. So I thought I might do that next week, see if I can find the time to just, you know, record some of this stuff so that I can take photos of what I've done and edit them into the video, and, you know, see if I can do something a little bit more creative about getting it all done. Not sure how it'll work, but what the hey, you only live once. I probably need to learn how to do all of this stuff, so why not? So what I'd planned to do tonight was a sweet bugger all, really. Oh, I've lost my mouse. I often lose my mouse over the 3 screens, so it's all good. I was just going to do a really short video because it's Friday night and I still have a lot of work to do on, editing the document that I've done and putting the folder together. Putting the folder together won't take long. That's really quick. And tidying up depends on how much I want to do. I want to have it to the stage where tomorrow morning when I get up, I just do a general tidy up. I'll do most of the formatting tonight before I go to bed. I'm going to spend another 4 or 5 hours on it tonight. Have a late night. And, I've got 3 hours in the morning before I've got to head out. So I've got at least 3 hours in the morning. So I think, well, if I work on 7 hours to go, then that's easy done. It's not an issue at all. Because I've done the hard yards, I have the confidence it's not an issue, because now it's just tidying things up and, doing formatting of the document and just filling in some more. Like, I've done the research and I know where all of the documentary evidence is, so I can do the cross-referencing. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've written notes all along, so it's just going through the notes, doing a little bit of cut and paste and tidy up. As I say, most of it's done. It's just, I still have to come up with the questions I want actually answered. Because sometimes if you ask one question, you kind of, unless you ask the other question, sometimes you cut it off. And some questions sound really stupid. But you still have to ask them so that they're looked at. So I think there's a few issues that I've got to raise, and I've got to ask, just because this has been going on so long, has he now run out of time for other options? I don't know. Does this action flow on from this being finalised in his favour? So if he wins this case, does it then follow on that this next cause of action arises because of the outcome of that? Or, are they interlinked, or does the cause of action exist already and can he do it? Is he even the right plaintiff for it? There's lots of questions that I want answered. And because we kind of need to settle this so that he's got an idea of how he wants to move on and whether it's worth even pursuing it in court, I've got to ask all the questions so that the barrister will give his opinion on, chance of success, whether anything's worth pursuing. I've had some general discussions with other lawyers who seem to think that some causes of action would be worth pursuing, but we hadn't gone into details, and I hadn't given them any real documentary evidence for them to look at. So whether that holds true, I don't know. So while I'm doing this, and when I go off to cook tea, I'll have my notepad with me, and I will be thinking about how to ask the questions so that we cover off on all of the ways that we want to know how to proceed. I don't want to cut off any options. I would like to really look at it. But so that's the reason why I'm not going to go and talk too long tonight, only because it's already late. It's getting on for 6 o'clock. by the time I've cooked tea and eaten tea, you know, I'm looking at 7 o'clock for getting back into it. So, you know, 4 hours gets me to 11 o'clock, which is well past my bedtime because I get up at 4. I've actually been awake since 2 because El Papo wanted to get on the bed and didn't feel confident going up his own stairs. So I wake up really easily. So when he woke me up, I just sort of stayed awake after that. Couldn't get back to sleep. But I didn't get out of bed. I thought, oh, God, no, it's only I think it was 2:30 in the morning. I thought, no, I'll see if I can sleep. And then I didn't sleep, so that was a bit unfortunate. That was piss poor planning. I think I should have just gotten up and worked a little bit on it and then gone back to bed. And I might have slept a bit because I wouldn't have stressed about not getting enough sleep, I suppose. Who knows? So, what else did I want to actually rant about? I've ranted about the neighbours. But really, there's not much else that's bothering me at the moment. It's, other than, you know, just not being able to move on. So it's annoying. Oh, look, I'm just going to send out this guy to find some copper for me. Yeah, so that's going to take him 5 minutes, apparently. Let me brew some troops. This is the stuff that you do. Usually when I'm in a really bad mood and I've got like research to do or something and I'm stuck. Now, years ago when I did a class on, I think it was how to use Word or something, they were saying that, you know, when you get stuck, just play a game of Spider Solitaire or something, or Solitaire, because while you're concentrating on doing that, your problem's being solved in the background. So the reason why I've put this game up is because, well, I wasn't actually at the computer that much because I had to take the puppy for a walk and I had to go out and, you know, pick up the stuff I need to finish these files. And so, you know, I've been doing things. But I thought, if I have it on in the background while I'm putting some of the files together, I'm still trying to sort out some of the documents that I've got to give a reference number to. But I've got like 5-6 documents to add to the list. And I just sort of thought, do I need extra documents? Do I really have to have them? And were 2 documents that in the course of 3 hours today, at first I thought, because they were relevant to a previous action, I sort of thought, well, we don't need them. And then I thought, yeah, but, you know, the advice that was given is pretty important. It explains a lot about what's happening with this case. So then I thought, do I want to put it in? And then I sort of wavered a couple of times and I just ended up playing the game for half an hour just to really think about, am I going to put these documents in? Because I put them in, I took them out, I put them in, I took them out, and now it's like, no, they've got to be in. And I know where they fit in the greater scheme of things. They're in the chronology. And because they're in the chronology and they sort of go to what was missing in the original advice, and it's a question that I've got, and everybody's probably, with more experience, sort of knows what the answer is. But I have a problem with the question. I sort of think, well, you know, the rule is that, you know, X happens and, you know, it's all relative. You know, Z can't happen until X and Y have happened. So if X has happened but Y hasn't happened yet, then, you know, Z can't happen. and they kind of skipped why. And I'm sort of thinking, well, how come? How come they ignored this principle of this particular area of law? I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but for the life of me, I can't think of it. And I'm thinking that leads to issues because of what's happened since. So I need to figure out how to ask the question. And, I'm not embarrassed to ask the question. I know I'm inexperienced, but all of the case law that I've read about it all sits with my understanding of the issues. So I guess the reason I'm ranting about it is because sometimes you sort of feel a bit inadequate and you sort of think, would I get that with more experience? Would I understand it a bit better? And I'm thinking, well, real experts miss things, and it wasn't covered off, or I didn't see where it was covered off. I sort of thought, it's a bit weird. It's really weird. Anyway, I'm going to think about it a bit more while I'm cooking tea, so that'll be all right. I'll have it sorted. By the time I have to sit back down again, my brain will have had a rest. So before I went live, I was actually working on the documents, and I'd been working at it for most of the day, on and off, allowing for some breaks in between for sorting things through my mind. Even when I write all day, I don't write all day. I take breaks. So that's just part of what I do. And now that I've bored the absolute tits off you, I think I'm going to leave you. I'm not really aggravated about anything enough. Haven't had any wine, so that's probably what I need to be able to really grouch. Yeah, that's it. I think we're done. I'm looking forward to getting these documents out, and then see what happens next. It'll be really interesting. Yeah, I'm quite excited to see what the advice will be, because I know how I'd like it to go. But again, not experienced enough to really say this is definitely the way to go. I just have a gut feeling that it's the obvious way to go. But we'll see. Have fun. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And whenever you manage to see this, if I bored you, just remember to use it to get to sleep at night. And I promise you won't have nightmares. Because, apart from a couple of cursey words, it's not too bad. Anyway, love you and leave you. Have a great time.